Hello there and welcome to another Android programming tutorial. So let's get started. Uh, Today we're going to cover how to use the toolbar, and this is really important for any application you want to use that uses material design. For those of you who don't know what the toolbar is, it's basically the actions bar big brother that can do many more things. So let's start by opening up Android Studio as always. We're gonna start a new Android Studio project. We're gonna call it toolbar example. SDK doesn't matter much. Go with KitKat if you want. We're gonna be using the new support library, so this should be backwards compatible for a lot of devices. Blank activity, and just finish. Let it load for a moment. Alright, so now the first thing we're going to do is to go to the Gradle scripts here. Remember, you should be using Android Studio, otherwise this is really complicated, and really just use Android Studio because Google doesn't make it easy in Eclipse anymore. So go here to the build.gradle model app and make sure you have this. If you don't have it, what you're going to do, you're gonna put this code in here, and then when you try to run the application, you may get an error and it will tell you that you can install the missing dependencies. Do that and you will be golden. Now we're going to actually create the toolbar. So this is going to be in layout. Just make new layout resource file, and we're going to name it toolbar. Click OK, and we're going to edit it in here. So you can go ahead and remove all of this, because this is not going to be a linear layout. It's going to be android.support.v7.widget toolbar. Now we're gonna fill some fields in here, and I'm going to actually fast forward because it's a bit of a pain. So alright, I decided to just copy paste it from a transcript file I have. So you're going to notice that this is in red, this is an error, it's not finding color primary, and that's okay, because we're gonna fix that right now. You're going to go to values, and you're gonna create a new values resource file. We're gonna name it colors. So yes, within the resource tags, we're going to specify a couple of them. These are going to be color, name is going to be equal to primary, and the value is going to be a hex F44336. This is red, and you can see it here. Awesome job with Android Studio, I really like that feature. Let's put a couple of them. We're going to name them alright, now that we have the colors, feel free to save at any point. You can go here and you'll see that it changes to green, so it's good. Not much to explain in these values in here. You pretty much just copy paste it, and whenever you use an action bar, just use this code. I mean a toolbar, use this code and you're good to go. You can change it for app compat light if you prefer. Alright, so now the toolbars are really interesting, that we can add icons to it, we can customize them, and that's what we're going to do in this tutorial. So we're going to add a couple of resources first. So go to draggable here, and we're going to say new, and you're not going to have this option unless you already have this library installed. It's called Android icons draggable importer. Look it up, it's really nice. If you really have a lot of trouble finding it, I'll post a link in the description, and you just install it through the Android Studio plugin. So we're going to say material icons import, and this this directory in here, Google in the last I/O released the Android material design icons. So you want to go to GitHub and download them. Once you have them, that directory that you downloaded from GitHub is going to be your resource root. So once that's all set up, it really shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes, and again I'll post a link in the description. You're going to go to here and we're going to add a search button first. So that's going to be in the S. Search like this. We're going to say the size is 24, it's a bit bigger, and this is all pre-selected for you, so don't touch it. When you click OK, magic happens and you get all of the different quality resolution images. We're going to add one more, again material icons import, and this one's going to be editor. Let's see if I can find it. No. It's in mode edit. There. Again white, and we're going to set it to 24 too. Boom, magic. Alright, now we just have to go to the menu to actually use these icons. And in here, we're going to add 2 items. It's going to be Android ID plus ID. I haven't typed this in a while. Search Android ordering category. This is going to be 200. Android title. This is important to name it exactly as I am naming it now, for the reasons you'll see in a moment. It's going to be search Android. Then the icon is going to be drawable. Yeah, let's go with search and app. So as action iframe. This is basically if there's no space to put it, then done, because this is a kind of an extra. Close the item tag. Where am I? There. And then for the next one, I'm just gonna fast forward it. Okie dokie. We are done with the menu. Or almost. We need to close it. So just add this. There. Now we're done with the menu. Finally, if you try to continue the tutorial and run without this part, your app would crash. It would throw you an exception. So one thing you have to do, you have to go to your styles, XML here, and this is a really important part of your app whenever you're making a somewhat big app. This is what specifies how your app looks in general, like the default values. So we're going to change this first. See, it says dark action bar. We're gonna say no action bar, because we're using the toolbar instead. Then we're gonna add a couple default values that I personally like using. Again, I'm gonna just copy paste this because it's a lot of typing and you guys can just read it pretty easily. It's just colors, and that should be it. So it's just the color primary, the accent, the primary dark, text color, and text color secondary. So now we're almost done. Now we actually implement the toolbar. This should be easy. This tutorial is a bit weird because it's really useful, but it's kind of a pain because you're editing a lot of the XML files and they're really annoying to edit because of how much typing there is. We're gonna include a tag here. Also, I'm using my Spanish keyboard right now, and I've been using an American one for the whole summer, so I've gotten used to those keys. So now coding is a bit complicated. We're gonna name it ID toolbar. This is, and the layout is going to be the layout we created. So layout slash toolbar. Okie doke. With an include. That's interesting. I didn't want it to do that. Because I forgot there. Now we're good. And this is going to be a linear layout anyways, because I prefer it that way. It's easier. I find it easier to structure. Yeah, you have to take the padding out, right, top and bottom, because otherwise our action bar, our toolbar, sorry again, I'm just our toolbar is gonna have margins and we don't want that. And we're going to add one more field, which is going to be Android orientation vertical, just to be sure. Save this, and now we can finally go to Java code, which is much nicer to type in. Okay, so you're going to literally add 3 lines, private, 4 lines, if I can type. And then our toolbar here in the on create, we're going to say toolbar equals casted to a toolbar, find view by ID, and we're going to say r.id.toolbar, and then set support action bar, you guessed it, toolbar. This is the 4th thing, app compact activity. And apparently Android Studio is being confused, so we're just gonna import it manually. We're gonna import Android support v7 widget toolbar, and now we should all be good. We can go ahead and run it. This was a bit long for the amount of stuff we actually did, but I want to make sure you understand that all of this setup, going to the styles, going to the menu, going to the toolbar XML, you only have to do it once for your application, and even when you make more applications, you pretty much just copy paste those files and reuse them for other projects you do. So it's pain at first, but it literally only takes 5 minutes to do once you've had it done once. Okay, and now we can just go ahead, open it up, voila, here's our toolbar. I mean, doesn't do anything really, it's material design, so that's fun. But yeah, there you go. Now you can use this for your material design apps. If you notice that this is dark, that's because in order to configure that, you have to do a separate XML. That takes like 10 minutes to do, so I didn't want to do it in the tutorial. Feel free to research on your own, but anyways, thank you so much for watching, and be expecting a new tutorial soon. So bye.